One of them is an ex NBA player, Damon Jones, who becomes the first defendant to plead guilty in a sports gambling sweep
Yep.
that netted more than 30 arrests. So he's one of the 30 people
Yes.
involved in this big scandal. If you guys aren't privy to it, there was a lot of insider information being passed around
Yeah.
because there was a gambling rink.
Yes.
So do you want to expand a little bit more on
Yeah,
it?
so this one got kind of deep. They were saying like the mob or the mafia or something like that in New York had some type of inside
Mm.
information or some type of inside ring. 30 people got swept up. Damon Jones was one of the famous people. Um, what is his name? Chauncey Billups. Shout out to the Pistons. Um, Chauncey Billups, Mr. Big Shot, one of our star point guards, he got wrapped up. Now he was actually the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers.
These are all millionaires.
So yes, Damon Jones was a role player on the Cleveland Cavaliers during the LeBron era, and unfortunately, he used that relationship to leverage and bet on LeBron. So essentially, he hanging around LeBron. LeBron got a sore throat, or LeBron tweaked his ankle. Nobody noticed it because LeBron is Iron Man. But after the game, he's soaking it, and he might not go the next game because they're playing a team that he can possibly sit out on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Damon Jones was using this information to bet and gamble, and he was selling the information. So he wasn't necessarily betting his own money,
Yeah.
but he's like a book runner, taking the information and say, look, LeBron, take the under on LeBron. He's not going to. LeBron averages like 28 points. He tweaked his ankle. He's going to try to give it a go. And if it's not good, he's going to sit out. So just say LeBron's going to score under 20 this game. LeBron's going to have under 15. Or he's not going to be as loose this game because his ankle, so he's not going to get 10 rebounds. Small little information can swing the betting odds in your favor, and people was putting up hundreds of thousands and potentially millions of
Really?
dollars.
Now this is like the sports betting, right? So
Yeah.
this is the betting where you can bet on all types of little things.
Yeah, but
the
it's different.
poly market type.
Well, poly market is a prediction market, but they do sports betting as well, but they do it a little different. But there's different types of bets. So there's bets where they call them like prop betting.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's the parlays. The parlays is like when you bet multiple things. So
Okay.
in order for your parlay to hit, you got to have 7 different things
In a
go
row.
in a row, right? But then you got like prop betting. Prop betting is kind of like, if I'm understanding this correctly, like not that the Lakers are going to win or lose, but that LeBron is going to have at least 5 assists. LeBron is going to have at least 15 points. LeBron is going to, you see what I'm saying?
And that's the
LeBron is going
betting.
to shoot 8 free throws or whatever, right? That's, you can bet on pretty much anything, and with insider information,
It's almost like a no lose type of situation.
exactly, right? I can use my common sense and say, if LeBron ankle is sore or his knees are sore,
Yeah.
he's probably going to play half the game.
Yeah.
So he's not going to have the full production. So I'm gonna use that and I'm gonna sell that information. And a lot of people's taking the under on LeBron. And right before the game, LeBron, questionable to come to the game. He played the first quarter, not feeling it, sit the game out. So LeBron only leaves with 8 or 12 points, and he averages 28. So you know that, and if you bet the under on it, you make a lot of money.
And they arrested 30 different people conspiring or involved in either being a runner or being a participant in this.
Yeah, see, this is the unfortunate thing is the Damon Johns of the Damon Jones of the world. What is his name? Like I said, Chauncey Billups,
Billups.
and it was a couple other players. Malik Beasley for the Pistons. Hey, the Pistons, y'all got a lot. Y'all got a track record
Terry
here.
Rozier.
Terry
Rozier.
Rozier. Now he was crazy. Like Terry Rozier, he was betting on himself. So
Got to bet on yourself.
he was doing things like, okay, I'm gonna score less than 6 points or 10 points. Get out there and score the first 8. He'd be on fire, and then like every time he touched the ball, he'd turn it over for the next for plays,
That's crazy.
and then he'll sub himself out, be like, I'm hurt,
No, that's
and the
nuts.
betters are cash in. So he was doing crazy
And stuff
stuff.
like that.
Um,
So they're really manipulating the game. And this is the NBA. So also, to people who watch basketball, people generally, sports fans like college ball.
yeah,
Not that they don't like the NBA, but I have heard critiques about the NBA to say basically once these college players get into the NBA, they stop playing as competitively, it's less intense, they don't want to get hurt. They don't really start playing to the playoffs. So imagine you being a fan and you want to see this game and y'all playing around.
yep,
And you already have this narrative of not being highly intense because, again, you're protecting your career. You don't want to
yep.
get injured and things like that.
Contract coming up,
Contract coming up, whatever the case may be. But now y'all playing games. Like you're literally
throwing games.
playing with the fans' money, playing with the coaches, legacy, playing with the board. Like,
Now the unfortunate thing is because they're players, they're being the forefront. Like they're going to be the ones who make the front page of New York Times.
yeah,
But like we said, this is the mob. This is a lot of people under the
just,
table
yeah.
that are wrapped up in this, and we never gonna know who they are until they go to jail, and we still not going to hear their name. So the Damon Jones of the world,
Or we wouldn't
the
have a
Terry
name to a
Rozier, the Chauncey Billups, these are going to be the people that have a stain on their career forever, even if they're found not guilty. Now he just pleaded guilty,
Yeah.
but like Chauncey, everybody think he's guilty, and he ain't even been tried yet. So this is going to be an
What
unfortunate
about all of
situation.
those big wigs at the Capitol Hill that do all that insider trading
But this is the issue. This is the this is the issue with all of this. Excuse me. The issue is ESPN, the NBA, all of y'all are in bed with these betting companies. So it'll be as if you take a bunch of husbands that ain't had sex with their wife in 6 months and put them in a strip club, and then one of them get some in the back, and everybody mad. It's like, why would you put an animal in here? You see what I'm saying? Like, you putting people against their nature. It's somebody's nature to gamble and make quick money no matter how much money they got. That's human nature. And y'all want to wrap y'all entire sport, football, basketball, all of these professional sports are wrapped up in gambling. And now y'all want to act surprised that y'all coaches, y'all players, and everybody's
So you're
throwing
saying
games?
some of those people might be gamblers, like in a way that like some of those, as if you're the NBA and all of a sudden like there's liquor at every game, or you're passing it. It's like, of course somebody's gonna abuse alcohol if you have it around. Like, this is the nature of
Yes.
the beast. Like, so of course
Yes.
gambling is going to get a little bit out of hand.
Yes. It would be like trying to tell bottle girls not to drink.
Yeah.
Imagine a rule that say waiters and bottle girls can't drink.
Well, they try that rule. As a waitress, it doesn't. As
I
a
know, but-
former waitress, it doesn't work.
I know, but I'm saying like that's the equivalent. It's like
Yeah.
your whole job is
Yeah.
essentially wrapped around
Yeah. Like
this
you're a
product,
bartender. Mm-hmm.
and now you can't touch the product or you can't benefit from the product. And sometimes it's not about the money, it's about the thrill, it's about because you said I can't do it. It's a lot of reasons why, psychologically reasons. And I'm not making excuses for these idiots because they made millions of dollars and they don't have to do this.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is the human nature behind a lot of what goes on with gambling. Gambling is probably one of the most addictive things, because it's on every corner.
Yeah.
The government participates in it.
Yeah.
The casino's 24/7. So I just think this is a very unfortunate situation. We're going to see a lot more athletes throw their careers or their reputations away. He was an assistant coach, Damon Jones. And, now people getting wrapped up with the mob and all that, that's a whole nother conversation. I don't know if somebody going to snitch or somebody going to come up. You know what I'm saying?
Not with the mob.
Yeah, it's a lot going on with the mob that it's like, I don't know if you want to play with that.
I think they'll be fine. They have fall people, and if you, I'm from Jersey, so
the mob is
really
up through
big.
there. Yeah.
Yes, the mob is really big. They got judges. They have they're going to be fine.
Yes.
They're going to be fine. They're good. They're going to put somebody who owed them They're gonna take the
Well, and
fall.
that's
They're
the
gonna be fine.
problem with all of this. They
Yeah.
were saying allegedly Chauncey Billups got into some mob debt, and then he started being used as the front face recruiting
Officer.
person
Yeah.
for all of these athletes, entertainers, because not only was he a great player, but he was a dope coach. He was like one of the only black coaches in the league, head coach of the Portland Trailblazers. So if he's having these poker nights and having these
Yeah.
things, and they were saying like they had loaded cards and they can look at your cards, and they were playing a dirty game. They weren't just sports betting. They was
Yeah.
also cheating, running gambling houses and stealing people money. So this is not just a
Wow.
sports betting thing. This is a
No, this
whole
became a
gambling
big
ring.
rink. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's very unfortunate, and hopefully, so it looks like he's going to be sentenced January 27 and has agreed to forfeit $73,000. So he probably gonna do something less than a year or something. He not about to do, but his reputation is the
I was
part
gonna
that's
say
going to
the
be
potential
ruined.
to make because he made way more than 73,000.
Yeah. He was an assistant coach. He making
Yeah.
$500,000 a
But
year,
no,
quarter million a year. Some he
I
making
think
some
he
real
made
money.
even more on the gambling. Like,
Oh
I
yeah.
think he
More than
made.
likely,
I
yeah.
think he made more than
Because a
73.
lot of that is under the table.
I was gonna say, but that's what they can probably prove,
Yeah.
and I think it's the potential money. It's always the opportunity cost and I was always say this. If you think like a business, if you are a business,
Yeah.
you have to think about the cost of money in the future.
Yes.
How much is this going to cost? How much is this $73,000 going to cost me in the future?
Yes.
And that is why this is very disappointing, like you said, because these black men are becoming the face of
sports betting,
sports
and they,
betting.
like you said, they're at the bottom of the totem pole. The mob, all these type of people.
That's what
Those are the real people, but they're never going to be blasted on the front of ESPN.
No.
Thank you guys for watching. In order to continue to support independent journalism, I need you to subscribe down to the page below. And if you want the full podcast and more exclusive content, I need you to subscribe to the Patreon. Link is in the description.